Hi folks, thank you very much for joining me on this rather sunny Edinburgh day, as you can see out the window. I got a great question the other day from a viewer asking why I don't record my videos into a DAW, a DAW, which I think stands for Digital Audio Workstation. So great question, and why do I keep doing it just with my iPhone? So I thought the question was so good, we may as well answer it on a video. So do you want to come upstairs now and slip into something more comfortable? No, I'll cut that out. Right, so here we are going into my little room. You'll see I've been transformed into a bear, a teddy bear. So let's just say that the bear is me, and this is how I spend my time, right? So I sit there on my wee chair. I've got a pad for my bony little skinny arse that I sit on, and I play facing my favourite amp, which is jacked up on a few books, tilting back, so the beam is directly in my face. Many of you might be surprised at this, but I just love that tone. Remember, I'm always at bedroom volume, not loud. My spare amp, which is also an amazing thing to have, is there. Fox is in the cupboard. Up on the walls, this is what I'm looking at. The Strat would hang there. We've got the telly. I'll walk around the room. So then we've got our special. Which is the gold top. And then you saw the 335 as we came in. Panning through the windows. We've got the R9, of course. The Junior. And on the final wall, my busking guitar, Epiphone Riviera. And down on the floor, if only my legs weren't so short and stubby like that, I could reach the pedal board. We have that as my board, and it's been that way for a good wee bit. It'll probably stay like that because I just love those things on the board. Now, if you walked in on me when I was recording a YouTube video, this is exactly what you would see. Just spin it round. You notice the door doesn't even open. It's that small a room. So now we'll just slide in and we'll just see what the hell's going on in here. What Mr. Fuzzy Bear is doing. Right, so Mr. Fuzzy Bear here is sitting on the chair in a different angle entirely. The cornell's even been spun around and is now on a box to raise it up a little bit. You notice the bear now is looking at himself in the mirror. That's why sometimes when I'm talking to you, I'm guilty of looking above your heads because I'm actually looking in the mirror to see what you're seeing on, because you can see, of course, the iPhone in the mirror. So I'm actually looking at the iPhone in the mirror. The iPhone, which is just a dummy iPhone, I don't think the battery has even got any power in it. That iPhone, although that one's a dummy, the real iPhone would be like that, and you will see, well, you can't see, but the microphone part of the iPhone is facing the amp at, what is that, a foot, just over a foot maybe? The amp is at bedroom volume, so as not to clip the mic. And that's why I would love to have my amp in shot, but I just can never do that because I feel that setup is what captures the best tone. So that's why you only ever see me, but not the amp that I'm playing through. So that's the deal. That's kind of what I do. And I'll maybe have to put the pedal board in different angles so I can physically reach it, depending. So that's my setup. And you'll see the little anchor on top. That's my Bluetooth speaker, just in case I'm playing along with a YouTube backing track. I'll maybe find a way, I'll get a little table or something, and I'll put the anchor in such a place that the volume coming out the anchor is similar to the volume coming out my cornell, so that you're not hearing too much backing track or too much lead guitar from me. So that's what I do. And so before I tell you why I don't play through a DAW, let's have a quick musical break doing exactly what you've just seen. Right, we'll do another guitar thing in a minute, this time with the Oswald, but first let's go through why no DAW in laptops and cameras. Right, I've got the pros to a DAW, and when I say a DAW, I take it that means by default I then have to have a PC or a laptop, which I don't have, which then means I have to have a camera, which I don't have. Would I then have to have software? Does that come with the DAW? So there's all those things I have to get. But the pros, I get that lovely glossy production, maybe both visually from a good quality camera and sound-wise from the mic, and I could tweak things post-production and all the things that YouTubers do. That's the pros, obviously. I could maybe tweak errors. I don't know if you can do that on the software. Could I take out one of my errors and plop in something that was better? I don't know, so that's a possible pro. This is a big one. I'd have the ability, if I had a PC, to send sound files to collaborators. So for example, if a big YouTuber said, Paul, I've been following your stuff, go and put a solo over this backing track. I have to say, sorry mate, I can't do that. I've got an iPhone and I don't know how to send video footage via iPhone. Maybe Dropbox. But the point is, it'd be very archaic the way I would do it compared to what a big YouTuber, Pete Thorne, would do. Another pro to the DAW is, I guess, my amplifier that I'm playing through could stay in shot. Like I said earlier, I would love to see you watch me play and have my Cornell sitting beside me, but instead I can't do that because of what I said earlier. I have to have the amp pointed at the bottom part of the iPhone to capture the best tone. And lastly, and this is probably the biggest one for me, a pro in terms of a DAW and a camera, is that I presume if it was a camera, it would have an SD card or some sort of memory card, and that the ability to have lots of SD cards would give me way more memory than I have. What I go through with my phone saying not enough memory to copy video, oh, it's a pain in the arse. Sometimes you even have to think twice about making a freaking video because of memory issues. And I've got if I've got a 64 gig memory, I've got a good iPhone, bigger than I would normally choose to have, but because I play guitar on YouTube, 64 gigs. But with all the stuff in your life that happens, you've got family videos and it all eats up in your apps, and before you know it, I'm constantly offloading various apps just to get my YouTube video up so that I can then download the apps again. Oh God, that's a pain in the ass. But next time I'll just get an even bigger iPhone. Now here's the cons to having a DAW, a camera, PC and software and stuff. And by the way, the pros that I've just said are nowhere near enough to make me want to do it. Here's the cons. All that faffing I would do. Remember, I've just turned 53. I'm an old man when it comes to stuff like this. I would get frustrated that it didn't work, and what's this error message? Rachel, come and help me with this. Bollocks to that. So it would take lots and lots of time away from creating and playing my guitar, and that's what I love to do. That's the biggest con as to why I wouldn't want to go down that road. Then the next one is, I'm not a rich guy. I've spent all my money on guitars. As you can see, I've got great quality guitars. I've not got the money to be going down more avenues on microphones, getting the best mic, and you would want to get a good mic. You'd want to get a good laptop. Would you get just a normal laptop, or would you get a nice Apple one and spend a fortune? I'd probably want to go for the Apple one. I can't afford all that. The software, the DAW itself, it's a whole camera, the whole thing. I don't want to go down that road. And I honestly don't think the tone that I'm listening to on playback requires it. I like the tone. Plus, here's another one. The tone that you're hearing via the iPhone, it might not be the glossiest, but at least it's quite an honest representation of what I'm putting out. I guess there's some YouTube compression. So in other words, it sounds even better in the room than what you're hearing. So I really don't need this glossy stuff. Then there's the rabbit holes. I mean, I've been down a million rabbit holes with guitars, pedals is a huge one, amps, and I'm pulling back now. The older I get, I've got guitars that are just too good to sell. So I've got my core set of guitars, no real plans to buy more in the foreseeable future. I've scaled down the amps. I only use the Marshall now and the Cornell. I've got the Vox in the cupboard. Pedal board has now drastically reduced from what you saw 6 months ago, 9 months ago, when I was doing videos on various pedals. I've now just got one board, and those are the pedals pretty much, with a few extras that I kept. So rabbit holes. I've no space. You've seen the size of the room. I can't swing a cat in here. It's tiny. And this is our spare room. I think that covers it. Yeah, I think that covers it. Let's have a quick break, and then I'll come back to you in a minute. Here's a clip with Oswald. So hopefully that explains everything. Thank you very much to the viewer that sent me the question. His YouTube channel is Second Note. Here's a photograph of his channel. I've not checked out your channel yet. It looks quite intriguing. There's some nice thumbnails on it. Particularly, I want to look at your video on the Jared James Nichols Gold Glory guitar. So thank you very much. Anyway, me and my iPhone will see you on the next video. Bye for now.